and represent, I square away their problems, and I've saved many, many lives.
Why do you have a very miserable life?
I don't know. I don't know if it's that spirit that hit me, but when I was at Resurrection, I was always the best singer when we'd sing, and we went back then, back in the day, you went to church every day, and I always felt a very strong spiritual connection.
And what made you stop?
What, going to church?
Yes.
No, I go down to the old cathedral,
So you still go,
yeah,
and
but
you still can't rid yourself of this demonic power. You feel
I don't know. It's I feel like, like you were talking about a curse.
Do you feel a weight on your back? Do you feel you're weighted down?
Well, that's interesting. I'm a little overweight in general.
No, not weight. I mean, do you feel like when you get up in the morning, you don't feel rested, you feel tired?
Oh, that's why I'm up listening to your show. I can't sleep at night. I never get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. You may have a curse on you, sir.
It's hard for me to concentrate.
Yeah.
Whatever can go wrong will.
You have a curse on you, sir.
But we don't know who put it on him.
Yeah, it's probably something from the house or something ancestral. Do you feel weighted on your back? You feel when you get up you're not rested. Your fatigue is constant. It's been going on for years.
Oh, yeah, constantly. And I've had bad luck. I had a roommate once, and I told him to leave, and he hung himself.
I'll try to help you, sir. I'll try to help you. Sir, I'll try to help you. I will cast a small psychic spell for you to try to break this, okay?
Well, I'd appreciate that.
Right.
Is there any way to contact you through the Internet? Do you have a website? Or?
I think I'm up through the coast to coast right now. They posted my Facebook or something in that nature.
Facebook's there and your website's there.
Yes, and I'll help you, sir, because I do think you are under a curse.
Oh, it's horrible. But that figure that, and what surprised me was that Presbyterian minister on the Nimitz, he said, oh, this stuff happens all the time.
Absolutely. He knew. All right, John, get a hold of Winter, and he'll help you out as much as he can. If you run into someone, Winter, who is very religious, a minister, what have you, do you cringe? Do you run away from these people, or what?
I do not. Do not like the sign of the cross. However, it is odd. I've gotten an aversion to that.
If I sprayed you with holy water, would you melt?
You know what? I don't know, but I'd stay away. I personally do stay away from the contact of that.
You would not go into a church, would you?
I went into Rainlay Chateau when I did a ritual there. That was the last church I was in.
That's in France, right?
Yes, yeah. And took some of the holy water there. I didn't have an issue. There's a devil in that church. But, yes, I mean, I have an aversion. The holy men are really, into their white lighting, and they're the other way with it, and they're just embracing so many other things, but they're infested with doubt and hypocrisy, and that just kind of makes me sick in a sense.
Let's go to Livermore, California. It's our old friend Mike. Hey, Michael.
Hey, George. How you doing?
Okay.
Oh, what a great show. Winter, everything you're saying is so right on. I mean, tap into the dark side, get what you want.
But you're not a Satanist, Mike, are you?
No, not at all.
Oh, well, but maybe you should have been for your Oakland Raiders this year. But.
Yeah. Come on now, the Raiders are good Christians. No, I'm serious. I think you're doing a good service to any Christian out there that's listening to the show with an open mind, because what you're saying is what God has written, what God has said. Adam and Eve, man is cast into sin.
But Michael, he's a devil worshiper, this guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that. But the bottom line is, how does it end up? How does it end? Look at Revelation. The devil is cast out. So I guess my question is, why are you siding with the loser?
Well, I guess if it could be answered so simply. Revelations is a wonderful contextual concept. However, it's all written of human hands with human issues. There's 40 separate books of the Bible have been divided over time, been transposed and transcribed. So it's never a correct answer. You cannot invest your faith in a book. You got to invest the faith in yourself. And this is the inherent energy that I feel that makes it work for me and engages onto the supernatural. That's where I stand with it. I don't put a faith in a book. I don't think there is a loser or a winner, because we're all going to die, brother.
You believe in a soul, Winter?
I do. I do think there is a soul. The key is to try to keep it together when you're dying. And it's very hard to do.
Well, it sure is.
Because there's just, there's so much chaos going on.
But you don't believe in fire and brimstone?
I don't. I don't think so. There's not a fire and brimstone. And I don't believe in a celestial heaven either. I think it's energy, and I think it's moving constantly.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
I like the tree. I like Yule. I like snow.
Presents.
I don't like the concept of Jesus Christ, per se, that date, because unfortunately Christ was born in August and not in December.
We're going to come back and take some final phone calls with Winter Lake, self-avowed Satanist, on Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back. We'll take final phone calls with our special guest, Winter Lake. Winter, if you had this moment to tell anybody anything about Satanism, what would you tell them?
I would say that if you are interested in rising from the doldrums of your life and finding a new power, you just have to find it through Satan. You can find it from within. You embrace who you are and stop denying it. That's what I would tell them.
All right, let's go to the phones east of the Rockies. Hey, Corey in Fort Wayne, Indiana, it's your turn.
Hey, George. Hey, Winter.
Hi.
I once had a guy ask me a question about a black dog and a white dog in my soul and which one was going to win. And I asked him if he wanted his answer or my answer. And he wanted both. So I said, well, it's the white dog because I fed it the most. He's like, yeah. He's like, what's your answer? I'm like, the gray dog in the corner laughing at the two dogs fighting. He didn't find that amusing. What I have to ask you about that is, do you find that you moved to Satanism because it was the closest thing you could find that gave the true essence of what we are as humans? I don't personally think that I need an entity to show that I am a powerful being. Obviously, through all the scriptures, there's something important about us, humans. For some odd reason, we play an important role in this whole universe, just like everything else does. But was it that aspect of Satanism that gave you that power to feel more than just a piece of flesh?
Yes, absolutely. It was that. I've had it since I was a child. It just made me feel different, and I embraced the power. And it's odd that you talked about the dogs, because I've been seeing dogs recently acting in strange ways. But yes, that totally is the reason. It just, the whole concept of normality gets thrown out the window once you get to this level.
Agreed.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Next up, we go to Holland, Michigan. Matthew's turn. First-time caller. Hi, Matthew.
Hey, George. How you doing?
Okay.
I absolutely love your show.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Winter. Great hearing you tonight. This is my question. I've been into witchcraft and practicing magical craft most of my life, and recently I actually wanted to do something for the first time that I had never done before, and that was protect myself more or less by initiating a preemptive strike against someone who was basically, I was in school, and they were talking a lot and causing a lot of trouble for me. So while I went home that day, I basically engaged in some correspondence magic, where I drew their spirit into a candle. And long story short, I ended up chopping the candle in half as a means to silence them so they couldn't hurt me in the classroom anymore. The very next day, I go to school, and for the next 3 days straight, this girl came in that morning with laryngitis, and for 3 days straight, she could not talk at all. And I was actually blown away and somewhat frightened by how effective my magic was. And I guess my question is there some kind of way to protect myself from some kind of backlash, some kind of magical backlash that it could hurt me from putting that energy out? And
no, I don't believe in backlash. I don't believe in karma. As I said earlier, The world would have been destroyed long ago if karma existed. You were deserved in what you did. The sympathetic magic, she was lucky to be alive. You did an attack against someone who was attacking you in a public forum. You had every right to defend yourself. And that is the nature of the supernatural power that you harness. And you need to embrace it. Stop being afraid of it. You have it, I can tell. And you're a natural-born witch. And you're probably very dangerous. But irregardless, you were justified in what you did. And through that justification, steps were taken and things were accomplished.
Good. Well, thank you.
It's pretty insightful for you to people. You pick up on people fast, don't you?
Yes. I'm actually picking up on you. You're a psychic as well, Mr. Norrie.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
I may not be as intuitive as you.
You're very intuitive. You have a BS gauge. You're very intuitive, sir.
A political BS. Let's go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ethan, you're up with us on Coast to Coast. Hi, Ethan.
How are you doing, George?
We are well, thank you.
Well, that's good. You were talking about Satan and had people call in. My first touch with Satan was there's an idea of you have to know Satan before you know God. So I was at work one night and I had a taste of Christianity the week before. So I had a problem with my mother. I had a conversation with him. So I was recalling the conversation with my mother, and out of the blue, I started hating my mother. I don't know where these feelings were coming from. And I was thinking to myself, when I come home, I'm not looking at her. I don't want to see her. I'm going to go to my father's house. I don't want anything to do with her. Then out of the blue, I just had these feelings. Those words that say, stand behind me, Satan. So I'm in the middle of my work. I work at night, and I just screamed, get behind me, Satan. My anger level went from 10 to 0 in a second. And he saved me. And I know you struggle with the idea, George, of how God works. Let me give you an idea for everybody out there. It's this little line.